Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be doing a tire change on a Ford Transit. This is a passenger Transit, so it's got a little bit different lowering tools and stuff I want to show you. Most of everything else is the same like I've shot on other videos, but this one has a little bit different lowering tools, so I want to show you guys how to get this done real quick. Alright, so this is, like I said, the passenger cargo Transit 350. You would come to the back and open this up, right? And then you see right here, this is where you lower the spare, and then down inside there, see that little thing? It takes like a huge flathead, thin flathead screwdriver type tool to lower that down, and then you would fit that in there and crank it counterclockwise. On the other Transits, you know, regular cargo Transits, the tire irons are complete solid. Now you still find them in the same location, which is up here on your passenger side. I've already opened up the compartment and gotten everything out, which basically looks like this, and you just grab it like that and pull on it, right? And then you get all your tools out of here. Well, normally your tire iron, this thing, would have a flat end on it, which would work with the other one, but I couldn't find the flat end, and I thought we didn't have the right tools in here until I noticed the little plastic piece that's kind of sits like this, right? And I pulled that out, and if you look down inside there, you see that little square fitting. That's where the end of this tire iron goes on, right? So it goes like that. It gives you that flat end, that flat screwdriver end that I was talking about that you need to lower it. So come back here to the back, put this in here like so, and you see how it'll fit down in there like that, and then you just crank it counterclockwise. That should lower it, but this tip is kind of not working. Actually, it's kind of wanting to gall the end of that, so I don't know if that's the trick or if I'm using the wrong piece here. I think I might be using the wrong piece. I might have to look for another piece up here. That piece ain't working. There's no other flat end pieces in this kit. That's everything in the kit. There's the jack. That's everything in the styrofoam. So I guess I'm gonna have to get a tool out of my car and try to lower it. Let's see if I can get that down with something I might have. Give me a sec. Alright guys, so I found this huge flathead screwdriver in my trunk, and also this other tire iron, and this one's a little bit wider than that one. You can see this big screwdriver. It kind of just goes in there, just kind of twirls around, doesn't lock in, even though it's a massive screwdriver. I mean, that thing's as big as my arm, you know. And so then I put this tire iron that I have in here, and you can see that it doesn't really fit in there either, right? It won't go from side to side like it's supposed to. It's not wide enough. But if you kind of cock it to one side, you can get it to fit a little bit like that, and then crank it. And then just kind of crank it like that until the tire starts to lower down. And all we're doing is cranking that counterclockwise like that and holding a little bit of tension on it to keep it to one side. Crank it until it won't crank anymore. That way you have enough slack to pull it out. Alright guys, so now that you got the spare tire lowered down, right, just reach under with your arm like so and pull it out, and then you're gonna have this funky looking thing here and this funky looking thing here, right? So pull this little sleeve up, and then on here, this cable, give it some slack, this cable's got to come back, turn like that, and then come out of there like so, right? It's like a bicycle lock, you know, like a brake for a bicycle, like the brake cable, kind of the same way, right? So that goes out of the way. Then you unscrew this counterclockwise, and then you can pull your spare out. And once you get that out, you're gonna have to reconnect all this stuff. So set this here, and put this in like that, turn it up, and put this collar thing back down on it. Then take this thing and screw it back on there like that, because that's got to go back up. If you're putting your flat tire on there, you know, you would put it back in the same way and then put it up, but I'm not going to put the flat on there. And then take your tire iron, stick it in there and crank it, you know, clockwise, and that'll bring the cable back up. I'll show you guys real quick.
That's cool.
Alright, so now your cable winch is back up. Definitely want to always set your emergency brake when changing a tire. So we're going to come up here, and the e-brake is, where's it at? Oh, down there, that's right. So your emergency brake on this one is on in the middle, right? So just pull that up, and that'll make sure you don't fall over, or your vehicle doesn't fall over rather. All right, so using the factory jack, you're gonna take it, depending on where your flat is at, and probably put it underneath that axle back there, or on this pinch weld. So right here you can see where they got a place for you to jack it up, and you would just take these tools back here and you would put these all together, and then, you know, they connect end to end, and then this end would go in like so and then lock in, and the end result would be this one here, you know, so to speak. Of course it would be, you know, this, and this, and then you would, I'm doing a video, but thanks.
Yeah, they warranty. They got the
Fuck off, dude. I know. Alright, sorry, fucking weirdos. Alright, so these would all connect, so you have the length that you need, right, to get the clearance that you need. But just for demonstration purposes, this is how it would go, and then the square goes in there, and then you would crank it like so, and the jack goes up, you know, and so on and so forth. But we're not going to use the factory stuff. We're going to use a big floor jack because we're in a hurry. So let's go ahead and grab all this stuff and put it up, and then we'll get to changing the tire. All right, y'all, so we got the jack in position. Like I told you, I'm gonna use a big floor jack, not the factory stuff. I know y'all get upset about that, but that's just the way it goes. All right, so use my big flathead screwdriver to get that off. This is 21 millimeter, or today, because I don't have 21 millimeter, we're gonna be using a 13/16. Got the e-brake set, and we'll go ahead and jack it up. Alright, cool, thanks. Alright, yeah. Now, if you're going to take this off with the factory tire iron, go ahead and break these lug nuts loose before you get it off of the ground. It won't spin, but you never know. I'm using the impact, so it doesn't really matter. This is the Milwaukee 18 volt from Home Depot, the M18, and we're going to put it on setting number 2 to put it back on so it doesn't over torque. We'll get this wheel off. Get this new one in here. Always hand tighten your lug nuts to start it out. I go like 5 rotations or so. Alright, so we get them all on there good, so we know we're not going to cross thread them. We got our impact on number 2, and our battery is charged up to 50%, so we know it's going to torque it correctly. And believe me, if you've been changing tires for any amount of time, you can tell when a lug nut is torqued correctly by the way that it moves, where it stops, how much power you feel in your drill, and knowing the torque specs, just experience. So I can get the tire iron out and I can show you guys real quick that that is torqued correctly because it won't move. Okay, tire iron out. No real movement. Ow. Oh, that end slipped off and damn near took my hand off. Oh, it hurt. The geometry on these things are garbage. When you're trying to tighten it, it wants to push out and down, forcing you to want to strip the lug nut off if you're putting any kind of pressure on it. It's just bad designs. It should be a pure 90-degree angle. Anyway, that's torqued correctly. All right, you guys, this is pretty much gonna wrap it up for this one, but check it out, a weave got stuck in the tire. Isn't that hilarious? Anyway, tire's on. I'll put the hubcap on. Put the flat in the back. We'll go ahead and release our emergency brake, push this button in, lift up, and then it'll go down like so. And hubcap goes on with the little dimple like that. None of the other ones have dimples. Only this one has a dimple. That's where your valve stem goes. Goes like that. Then you can kick it like that. And a little back kick like that, and it's on. There you go, nice and tight. All right, you guys, I'm starting to sweat to death. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, drop us a comment, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.